There we go. Now, if that should stop for any reason, don't worry about it. The tape will get it. And I'll put it up later. Now, when it's all finished and done, and everything's done, then see that little, see how I'm moving the cursor? Put it right over it'll be on this, and just press it and it'll stop. Every time I open up, love is what I see. Every time I open up, peace is what I see. And every time I open up, joy is what I see. We feel the love. And love.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sonny and Jim, for our opening. I invite you to close your eyes and let us pray. Knowing and feeling the presence of God in this moment. Knowing that God is all there is. God is that divine essence, that love, that presence that lifts us up and is the highest and the greatest love and goodness that flows through each and every one of us. And I am one with this highest, greatest good, this love presence that is God. And I know that the divine flow of spirit flows so deeply and smoothly through Reverend Sunshine as she delivers so eloquently this message of God, lifting each and every one here tonight, our souls up to that vibration of our highest and our greatest good. And I know that we are blessed by the music, each person here, and each step that it takes putting this service together tonight. What a blessing it is to stand in the power and the presence of God. So it is. Good evening. My name is Nancy Washwell, and a practitioner here at Seaside that is now wearing glasses these days. So welcome. My reading tonight is from one of my favorite books, This Thing Called You, by Ernest Holmes. And I invite you just to settle into your seats, even a little bit deeper, and listen to this message. It is not always easy for one to control his thoughts. It is not easy in the midst of pain to think peace, in the midst of poverty to think abundance, in the midst of unhappiness to think joy. But if you do this, you will meet with success. The law of mind reflects your mental attitudes exactly as they are. Say, that which I seek is seeking me. That which belongs to me will come to me. Since it is my desire that only good, truth, love, wisdom, and power shall go from me, I know this is all that can come back to me. The kingdom of God is within and around me. I know that the power of the living Spirit exists at the center of my being. Now I invite you just to think of some desire that you have in your life and silently say it to yourself. Knowing it is done unto me. Even God must wait your conscious cooperation before the full light of his presence and the power of his law can be made manifest through you. Your conscious cooperation with him starts with the realization of the divine presence and your union with it. I know that the presence, the power, and the activity of the living Spirit are in and around me. I know that the law of God, which is perfect, is operating through me. I know that there is one mind. That mind is God. That mind is my mind. There is no fear in this mind. No memory of fear. No expectation of fear. There is no thought of want, of lack, or limitation in this mind. This mind is functioning in me now, and so it is. Pardon me. Tonight, the topic is, you were getting sleepy, I think we're going to get a little sleepy there. And I would like to, with my whole heart, welcome Reverend Sunshine.
Thank you, Nancy, for that beautiful prayer. That was a powerful prayer, wasn't it? And that great reading. I always love hearing the readings from Ernest Holmes. It just helps to get me centered and reminds me of the truth of who I am. What's up? Look at y'all beautiful faces. You know who I'm looking at, right? God. Looking at the way God is expressing beautifully and magnificently. And in the front row, God is expressing beautifully and magnificently as Reverend Mary LaKay and Juliet Foster. They're here visiting from the United Kingdom, so I think that they traveled the longest to be here with us tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here at Seaside. Wow. We've all heard that term, you're getting sleepy. Sometimes little kids hear it when their parents want them to go to sleep. You're getting sleepy. It's kind of like the power of suggestion. It's almost like, look, you've had too much sugar in the bed. You're getting sleepy. But when I think about it, I think about someone holding up the pocket watch. And it's swinging like a little pendulum. You're getting sleepy. And having this effect as if you're being hypnotized or as if you have no control over your mind, like you're just allowing your mind to simply be captivated and moved and controlled maybe by something or someone else. You know, the funny part about life is that most of us don't think that we're hypnotized. But many of us are. By the world of effects, by commercials, by media, by ourselves even, at our own hand, where we begin to make suggestions to ourselves, especially the suggestions that are not the truth. And we not only listen and hear them with our ears or with our inner ears, because a lot of times these suggestions just kind of come through our thoughts, but we begin to believe them. Wah, wah, wah. And what happens when we allow ourselves to be hypnotized by the world of effects, or to be hypnotized by these suggestions or this way of being or this way of thinking that we've kind of grown up with, well, what we get, the results, the consequences, the outcome, the outpicturing of it is not necessarily life and abundant life and joy and peace and prosperity and just brilliance and creativity and beauty. It's usually the same old, same old. No wonder when people say, how you doing? Oh, same old, same old. Oh, you know, same old thing. Same thing, different day. Because we've allowed ourselves to become hypnotized at our own hands or at the hands of others. How many of us, we have a routine in the morning, especially for those of us who are working folks, and we have a routine, and there might be one morning where you kind of are at a stoplight and kind of go, now how did I get here? It's almost like you wake up and it's like, okay, I'm at the stoplight and I don't even know how I got here. Like, I'm not really conscious that, you know, I kind of know that I got up and took a shower and brushed my teeth and combed my hair, or, you know, did such and such and such to get here, but like, really, like, where did I go for a little bit? It's almost like Space Invaders, and somebody kind of like took our minds for a moment, and next thing you know, boom, we're back in our bodies going, now what? Where was I for a few minutes, you know? Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and they just kind of took us and boom, there we were. You know, and I say that because many movies have been made about it, but I say that because unless we're participating and actively staying awake, alert, and aware, we're simply just kind of going with a flow that's not necessarily a flow that's for our highest good. It's kind of like living on default. Kind of like you're getting sleepy. And we're just allowing ourselves to just be. And no wonder then, when we try to lay our head down at night, there's that sense of doom and gloom. Or maybe it doesn't have to even wait till laying your head down at night. Maybe in the middle of the day sometimes you're kind of wondering, is my life going to get any better? Is this all that it's worth? Is this really what my life has amounted to? And especially once we kind of reach an age, for those of us who may, you know, already be calling ourselves middle-aged or way past middle-age. I'm going to live to be at least 120, so I haven't reached middle age yet. Right? We get to this certain point in our life where we think we should have been someplace else, or we should have achieved certain things. And we kind of go, is this what my life has amounted to? Is this really what life is all about? And how come so-and-so has it so much better off than I do? And she's a slacker. Or not. Or he's a slacker. Or whatever the case may be. The thing is that it doesn't matter what other folks are doing. If you're feeling that nudge, if you're feeling that doom and gloom, if you're feeling that lack of limitation, if you're feeling like something must change, the good news is this. Our reading for today talks about intuition. Our reading for today is really talking about the omniscience of spirit. Omniscience meaning all-knowing. God, life, this energetic that we are it in human form. We are the way that it is expressing divinely in human form. Therefore, we are privy and we are that which God is. And the all-knowingness of God, the all-knowingness that is God, is present and available at all places, at all times, right here, right now. I love my dog, little Mellow Daye. She runs around here. She knows exactly where to find snacks, if there's snacks. She knows exactly where to find water. She knows, not because she has a conscious mind, but if she were to be out, or any other animal, whether it's a bird, whether it's a cat, whether it's a lion or tiger or bear, oh my. They have that omniscience within them, that all-knowingness within them. It's called instinct. In animals, it's called instincts. They have this natural instinct, this natural GPS, this natural knowing on how to live and survive and thrive. It is innate. Some folks might even say that it is blasphemous for me to say that God is living perfectly as our pets, as life, as lions and tigers, as birds. But everything is God. Therefore, that life, that plant life, that animal life, the human life, the stars, our universe, our multiverse, everything is that energetic. So that life force is there, that all-knowingness is there. It is contained within the body temple. It is contained within each animal, within each plant. Sunny loves tulips. She loves tulips. See, look, you hear her back there? I don't think it's called instincts in plants. But sure enough, if I buy her some tulips, and we put them in a vase, and the room is dark, but we just open the shade just a little bit in the daytime, you better believe those tulips are leaning over to try to get that little bit of piece of sun. That little bit of sun. That's what they do. Now, there's no real mind or brain in these tulips that have been cut to say, okay now, if you see any little beam of light, you lean towards it. No. It's within them. There's this knowing, there is this omniscience that is present in the flowers and the plants that just helps them to do what they do, to take in the oxygen, to take in the carbon dioxide and give us off oxygen. It is the way of life. It is this flow that just happens. Life works together for good, for more and more life. Even in the cement, if there's any little piece of crack in the cement, there is some type of life, plant, weed, whatever it is we want to call it, peeking out, saying, here I am. Look at me. I'm a weed. But I'm life. And I'm trying to live right here because I can. And yet, somehow or another, we have this intuition, this way of being that absolutely guides us to our greatness. And yet, many of us don't even use that. We don't even know it's there. See, life, God, energetic, energy is not kind of the busybody like Mrs. Kravitz, you know? It's not kind of going, hey, I'm here, you need me? Put me in. Hey, I'm here. Hey, you need some help? I'm here. Life is not necessarily doing that as much as life and intuition and this inner knowing is just kind of like hanging out, being cool. I'm here if you need me. I'll be right here. Did I mention that I was here? Just kind of waiting. If you need him. It's kind of in the background, waiting for us to become conscious enough, like the reading that Nancy read, become aware that there's this power and presence that we are one with it. It is who and what we are. It exists and it lives in, through, and as us. It is us. We have access to this all-knowingness, and it's just simply waiting for us to knock. Okay, I'm ready. I could really use you right now. And it's not from the sense of separation, like I'm over here and you're over there kind of thing, but it is definitely kind of like a limb, like I have a left hand and I can use it at any time, especially if the right one wants to give way. And it is available to us at all times. And yet, some of us allow ourselves to just kind of go in this hypnotic state and be carried off into nothingness, into mediocrity, into lack and limitation and doubt and fear, when we can indeed be in cooperation, when we can be in collaboration with this life-giving energy that is our very life, when we can begin to use everything that is available to us. Today's reading is all about that. Here's what Ernest Holmes says. Cosmic consciousness is not a mystery. It is the self-knowingness of God through man. God knows itself through us as humanity. Who we are is God in human form, remembering that we're God, hanging out in these flesh suits. We're simply God having this human experience. But when we forget and not use what is available in, through, and as us, what is available to us, when we forget to use who we are, then we kind of have that life that I was describing earlier. Then we have that nudge. Something's got to give. It's got to be different than this. Don't ignore that. That's kind of like, I'm waiting, or I'm here, by the way. So if you're having that conversation, that kind of mind chatter, if you're having that conversation with yourself, like, there's got to be more. It's because that intuitive nature that you are, that intuition within you is simply kind of tapping. I'm here. By the way, I'm here. If you ever need me, I'm here. And how many times do we snuff it out? How many times do we think, oh, that must be a childhood dream? Or, oh, that must be silly. Or, no, it's too late for me to ever do X, Y, or Z, or for me to ever reach my goal, or for me to even live a life of adventure, of love, of deep and abiding joy, of peace and of abundance. It's never too late. Our life is eternal. Whether we're in this flesh suit or whether we are living eternally in, through, and as all of the possibilities. To the degree in which I accept that this is my truth, then I really get to live. Then I really get to experience life fully. Right? So it's the self-knowingness of God through man. The more complete the operation of that power, the more complete is man's conscious mentality. For the illumined do not become less, but more themselves. The greater consciousness of God, the more complete must be the realization of the true self, the divine reality. So it's interesting because when I was growing up, I would look at the priest I would look at the preachers and the ministers, and I would think to myself, or the nuns, ooh, especially the nuns. And I would think, oh, poor them. They don't really get to have fun. They don't really get to do anything fun and really have a life. It's just this preachy, God, God, God. And this holy living. I wonder what they eat, And as a little kid, it's interesting because somehow or another, even though it seemed like such a restrictive life, how many of you probably thought that growing up too, Or just kind of, even thought, well, I don't want this spiritual life because if I take the spiritual path, I'm going to be missing out on all of this. I was there. And now what I get to see is, being on this path is recognizing the true self, and I recognize not that there's anything wrong with all of this, but yeah, I could have all of that if I wanted to, but I have all of this. Ooh, woo, yay. I've got so much more than just this limited whatever that was and whatever it is that attracts and hypnotizes so many of us, that all of a sudden, in recognizing, even though I have not reached nirvana yet, I think he's in Inglewood. He's got the Inglewood church, that guy. Even though I haven't necessarily reached this whoa, I know myself and become this illumined being, even on this path, though, it's whoa, I'm getting to know who I really am. I'm getting to really use what is available within me to recognize a life of abundance, of joy, of peace, of creativity, of prosperity, of deep and abiding love, of, it's kind of like going from this idea that, oh, I can only love one person, or trying to divide the love. I only have this much love to give, so okay, you can have a little bit, and you have a little in your family, so you can have a little, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, knowing the truth of who I am, it's just that ain't nothing. Love is endless. There is no containing love. There is no containing joy and creativity and peace and abundance and all of it. There's no container for it because it is limitless. It is an unlimited supply, and it is available to me right now. And that's just being on the path for a little bit. Imagine what I will know and how I'll blow my own mind and become so enlightened as I continue this path. But it's whoa, wait a minute. What I thought was poor them, they have no clue. It's whoa, how come this is not bottled for everybody to just have? And it is. It's available to all of us. Especially when we follow that intuition, especially when we allow ourselves to really be in a spiritual practice that continues to show us the limitless supply, the eternal life, the love beyond end. And yet, somehow or another, I begin to think about what happens for us. And it reminds me of the comedian George Lopez, when he talks about growing up, and if there was an uneven part of the cement on the street where they lived, and some water gathered, that was the swimming pool. When we indeed can chill and bathe and bask and frolic in the ocean. And why we kind of go to the little uneven thing and think we're in a pool or in the ocean. And why we accept the little bit and fake ourselves out we're getting sleepy and hypnotize ourselves or allow ourselves to be hypnotized that this little accumulation of water is the ocean. Is it our way of just kind of settling for less? A way of admitting defeat? A way of just kind of showing and demonstrating that we don't really believe what the preacher is talking about, what the practitioner is talking about, what Ernest Holmes has written, and what great and wonderful people have written about. Do we settle for less because we're too afraid to believe the truth? And we make up stories to say, well, I don't have to be rich. Well, a piece of man is better than no man. Or, any little bit of relationship is better than no relationship at all. Or, at least I'm not where she is or where he is. Are we settling for less when that intuition within us is kind of saying, hey, there's something up? Well, remember who you really are. And do we just kind of shut it up with our own mind, with our own thoughts? And if that's what's happening, stop it. Stop it right now. I see God before me, intelligence before me, abundant joy and love and prosperity and just creativity beyond measure. And if you don't see it in yourself, you need to be sitting before somebody who could see it for you and with you and remind you of the truth of who you are. That's why we have practitioners here. So that when we forget the truth of who we are, we can have a session with someone and they can remind us of the truth that we might indeed begin to incorporate in our daily activity so that it becomes a routine, so that it becomes a way of living, that we begin our prayer, our meditation, our sacred reading, our education, our declarations. Because you get to participate in it. I can't want this more for you than you want it for yourself. It's the old lead a horse to water. Like it is at hand. It is within you. It's that nudge. It's that sense of dissatisfaction. Asking you, begging you to do it differently. To live with more love, with more joy, with more peace, with more abundance, with more creativity, with more of who you really are. Ernest Holmes said it. When we focus in upon that, we become illumined where we know ourselves to the deepest way. And when we know the truth of who we are, then all of a sudden, things open up in a grand and glorious way. All of a sudden, we see differently. For those of us who wear glasses, thank you, Nancy. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like, without them, it may be blurry. Or you might even see really well. But as soon as you kind of put those things on, it's like, whoa, look at all the color. Wow, I could actually see outlines of people and expressions and things like that. So if you're a person who wears glasses, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or even for someone who might hear a hearing aid. Just that assistance, and all of a sudden instead of hearing, all of a sudden, the words are really clear, and they're enunciated in an accent. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That with our spiritual practice, as we begin to pay attention to our intuition, as we begin to listen and be obedient to it, as we begin to really develop and really be still and know, all of a sudden, life just opens up. I'm not talking about something that I don't know about. Simply sharing with you what has been true for me and what has been true for many of us. Last week, Catherine shared with you her story. So it's not even for those of us who take the road of ministry or practitioner, but even if you take the road of lay practitioner, meaning you practice the stuff, you practice it, you're a practitioner. If you begin to just simply make it your practice, then you too will allow your intuition to guide you, to help open you up. That then together as a community, we become this awakened community, this illumined consciousness right here at Seaside. And when people see us, they'll go, girl, what's different about you? Or dude, is that a new suit you got on? What's up? Because they will begin to notice that we know the truth of who we are. Therefore, we know the truth of everything and everyone. So let's just take a moment to pause and to really just kind of take this into our stillness and our silence. And the invitation is to know that this intelligence that is in everything is God. That instinct is really omniscience in the animal. That intuition is really the omniscience in humanity. Intuition is God in man, revealing itself to the realities of being. And just like instincts guides the animals, just like this intelligence guides plants, it is true with us that our intuition guides us if and when we allow it to do so. So right now, we're simply allowing our intuition to be our guide. It is our GPS. It is that indwelling presence, that omniscience within us, that is us, guiding us toward where we are to be. And let's just silently and quietly say yes to it in our own way. We just say yes to our intuition. We say yes to that indwelling presence, even now.
No. Okay.
We remember who we are. As we allow our intuition to guide us, to check in, we allow that indwelling presence that is our very life to move us through life and simply pay attention. We court this presence and this power. We sit in the stillness and the silence that we might know our life as the life that God is even more. We hang around, take classes, study, pray, meditate, make declarations and affirmations that we might know our life as God in this beautiful, human, divine form. We do our part to awaken, and we're grateful for that intuition within us that reminds us of our truth, that patiently awaits our engagement of it. And so we ignore it no more. We simply begin to say yes to it. Yes to knowing our life as God. Yes to knowing this truth. Yes to living from this place. And as we do, and as our yes gets bigger and bigger, as our knowing gets bigger and bigger, we recognize how awesome life really is. And so I give thanks that we come together in spiritual communities such as this and all over the world, that we might become awakened, enlightened, that we might remember the truth of who we are, that it is the self-knowingness of God in humanity. I'm grateful for communities like this, circles and tribes and groups and study groups and teaching chapters all over the world that are here for this purpose, that we might know our life as God. And so with this and so much more, I give thanks, grateful for all that is our picture as a result of our faith. I allow it to be so, and so it is. Amen. As the lights come up, take a look at the God beings around you. Become grateful for who they are, who's sitting with you and around you. For this configuration of people is a one-time occurrence. It's a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. This combination will never be together again in this way. So we just give thanks for those who are with us today, those who are around us, those who are on this journey and path with us. How grateful I am for your generous hearts. It is indeed our conscious giving time where we are able to gift this community with our financial tithes, gifts, offerings for the furthering of our programs, of our services, of our kids' programs, of all the wonderful things that we have here at Seaside. So I'd like to invite our ushers forward. Thank you, Melissa and Dennis, for your service. And I invite you to take out your gifts, your tithes, and your offerings, that which you brought to share with this beautiful spiritual community. A spiritual practice is indeed giving. And when we give with a generous heart, we're simply giving a portion of that which we've received. And we're simply using it and giving it forth for the betterment of our community and for ourselves and for the greater whole. So as you bless your gifts, your tithes, and your offerings, think of something that you're grateful for. Know that as you release it into the baskets, that you are indeed blessing and showering not only Seaside, but those places that we also contribute to and give to. So it is with a grateful heart that we indeed give these gifts, these tithes, these offerings for the betterment not only of our own spiritual community, but for the betterment of the world. How grateful we are that we have received so generously and so much, that we are now able to give so generously and give so much, that we indeed stay in the flow of prosperity and abundance. So for this and so much more, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Beloveds, thank you so much for your generosity. Please open your hearts and receive the music of Sunny Daye and Jim Bianchi.
And Reverend Sunshine is going to join us. Words I have to say may well be simple, but they're true. Until you give your love, there's nothing more that we can do. Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen? You say it's very hard to leave behind the life we knew. But there's no other way, and now it's really up to you. Love is the key we must turn. Truth is the flame we must burn. Freedom, the lesson we must learn. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen? Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. You know what I mean. Have your eyes really seen? Have your eyes really seen? Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen?
job, y'all. Love, 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 love. Okay, this is the part of our service where we get an opportunity to hear from you. An aha, an insight, a revelation, something that you'd love to share with our spiritual community. So, we have time for maybe one, maybe two. Who shall it be? I know somebody's itching. Yeah? Do you have something to say? Do you want to say something to us? Stand up. You can stand up in the chair this time. You want to stand up in the chair? So we can see you? And you want to tell everybody your name.
My name is Hallie.
Hi, Hallie. See all those people who love you right here?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you want to tell everybody?
Last time I went to Legoland.
You went to Legoland? Did you have fun at Legoland?
Yes.
What did you learn? Which one did you learn at Legoland?
And I see the sand move.
Yeah? Do a lot of things move there at Legoland?
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. We love you. Now, mind you, nobody asked her, nobody nudged her. She let her intuition raise her hand. Right? That's what I'm talking about. All right, tonight's Young People's Night. We're learning so much. What's up, Buttercup?
Nothing. I just wanted to say because I met my friend. She was there for such a long time.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen
So,
her either in a long time.
While she was gone, and while I didn't see her, she had a broken arm. So did I.
That's right.
Oh.
So it was the same arm, pink, full cast, and I thought that was really cool. So I just wanted to.
Very good. How you girls doing? Doing well? Just say hi. You want to say hi? Good deal. Thank you so much. We get an opportunity to hear from everyone. And the reason it's everyone is because God is living in, through, and out all of us. You know, what if we could all go to Legoland?
And see Shama.
And see things move and see the moon and see the stars and the sun and just, you know, what if after a long time we didn't see somebody and they had a pink cast like we did with the same arm and everything? Like, there's the synchronicity, right? Remaining awake will help us. Following that intuition will help us really stay in tune. Please, 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 please. You're getting sleepy. No, it's not for me. I'm gonna follow my intuition. I'm gonna follow that internal GPS. That's for my highest good. So here we are, another Wednesday night. Can you believe, like, we're in mid-October already? We just started getting all booked up. For those of you who are new to our community and maybe haven't been following us, or even for those of you who are watching us on our live stream, this year we've been getting all booked up. We've been reading the Science of Mind book a few pages at a time from different parts. So we kind of jump around. It's not just from the very beginning to the very end. But we've been learning and absorbing what Ernest Holmes talked about. And it is indeed possible that within 365 days that we can read a few pages at a time and actually complete the book. And what a wonderful way, and how great it is that we've been able to do that already for 10 months, 10 and a half months. Wow. Every Wednesday, every talk that I've given has been based on the reading for the day. And so whether you're kind of caught up or whether you're new to our community, in the back we have our index, so you can start today, just read today, and then by next year this time, you'll have read the Science of Mind book in 1 year. That's what we've decided to do as a community this year, so that we know what we're talking about, and that we're also applying what Ernest Holmes has been talking about into our lives, that we might become more illumined, more awakened, that we might know the truth of who we are. And so I want to give thanks to Jenny. Jenny's our coordinator. She makes sure everything happens. She is my right-hand woman in making sure that this service runs smoothly. And so I am forever grateful that she's here to make sure that everything happens so wonderfully. I want to thank our ushers, Melissa and Dennis, for their service. Ed Reeves in the back, thank you, Ed, for your service. Who's behind our camera tonight? If not Tim.
Gregory.
Gregory, thank you so much, Gregory, for your service. You have a wonderful, wonderful soul known as Gregory, and he's got the softest beard. So when you hug him later, yeah, you can feel the love. It just comes out of the beard. So thank you so much for your service tonight. It's amazing having you behind the camera and making us available not only to the world, but to those who will then see this later on. Thank you so much. And I want to thank Nancy, who brought us that beautiful prayer and that great reading from the Science of Mind from our Ernest Holmes book. And I want to thank our musicians. Tonight we have Jim Bianchi and Sunny Daye. Thank you so much for our wonderful, wonderful music. And I want to thank you, the you that is here and the you that is watching from home. Thank you so much. Out of all the places you could have been on a Wednesday night, out of the infinite possibilities, you chose to be here. And that means the world to me. You mean the world to me. And I'm so glad that we're on this spiritual journey together. I stop off at the store and I'm always amazed, talking about you're getting sleepy. I'm so amazed that they have Christmas stuff out. And, it's October. Like we haven't even had Halloween or Thanksgiving or, and there's all this stuff, for Christmas, and Santa Claus was out and everything. I was just like, what's Santa doing here? It's kind of early. But the reason I bring that up is because Melissa's going to be in our family room. She's got a table set up. And what we do here at Seaside around the holidays is we eat. So we have potlucks. And there's going to be a potluck for Thanksgiving, and then the end of the year holiday around here. Christmas is one of the holidays that's celebrated, so there's a Christmas potluck and a Thanksgiving potluck, and if I hang around, we might do Kwanzaa and Ramadan and Hanukkah, and we might do one of those, I don't know. But I know for sure we're signing up some folks for the potluck for those two events. So as you exit and as you get a hug from me, because I got one for everybody in here, I brought a hug for each of you. As you exit into our family room, make sure you stop by the table and just kind of see what Melissa's talking about, what's necessary so that, as the holidays come about, we might indeed be with one another and be with our Seaside families in joy and in love. All right, enough of that.
Thank you,
Time for us
Reverend
to
Sunshine.
go. You're so welcome. Let us rise. Let us sing our closing prayer. It's in your program book, but Nicolette and Callie, you want to come on too? Come on. Come on. You can. It's your chance. We sing our song and they show us the directions on how to do all the hand signs, okay? Nice job today.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices. In love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices. In love we stand. We lift our voices. In love we stand. We lift our voices. In love we stand.
Good night, everybody. See you in the family room.
Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. Available to me. Through the mind of God within me.
Okay, how you doing, Gregory?
Okay. And how about yourself?
Pretty good, thanks. So Tim roped you into minding the video, huh?
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Once he made it run.
Yeah.
I guess at some point I'll press stop.
What's that?
I'm gonna let the end be the piano.
Okay.
And then I'll press stop.
Okay.
Maybe I can get a picture of Nancy briefly.
Nice job, Nancy. Very good on the mic.
Lost in the darkness, where is that? They want me up in the wall. On the back of the blue TV screen light. Drew that broken heart. Your face sketched on me twice. See so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I drink a case of still be on my feet, still be on my
Are you okay?